Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Post-Up Podcast. This is Cyrus speaking.
And this is Kaunda Chama in the house. What's up, Cyrus?
So, in the house, in the flesh, you're here. It's all about everything basketball at the moment. The WNBA has been heating up. It's time for the All-Star Game. Are you ready?
7 days away. I'm ready. Yeah. I might even be getting a flight. But I won't break your heart right now. I'll let you know when I get there.
Thanks. So
I'm like, Cyrus, I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Vegas?
Yeah. Well, the WNBA All-Star. And it's going to be a heck of a show because I think that, the All-Star Game itself is always quite interesting. And I think the ladies put on a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
We love watching what they do. Last season's one was actually fantastic. Ended with a Cambage dunk.
Oh,
a nice way to end any All-Star.
Do you remember when Liz Cambage and Shania Gwemike were dancing?
Yeah.
Giving an African flavor. Yeah. Look, what happens off the court, on the court, in between the court, to me, is just like, it's crazy.
And that's what makes the WNBA such a great league, because you've got these ladies who just do some amazing things. Mm-hmm. And then we get to watch them at work. And much like, NBA fans will be like, oh man, have you seen this? Have you seen that? We see that every single week with the WNBA.
Yep.
Every day, actually. You get to see some great plays. For me, one of my favorites has been... I get a sense of joy from the I told you so's, And when I saw Asia Wilson make it into the league, I was like, this lady is something.
Now, you called Asia Wilson. Actually, Cyrus, I must tip my hat off to you. You've called a whole bunch of NBA players and WNBA players. And I'm like, this guy...
Talent's talent.
He could become a scout.
Well,
and he's
you never
busy
know.
making post-up podcasts with me. Cyrus, we could make more money than this, bro.
Okay, that's it. Sorry, post-up podcast is done. I'm going to become a talent
post-up
scout. But the thing about being able to see the talent within Asia Wilson was not very difficult. I mean, she was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Her being nominated as a captain for the WNBA All-Star Game in 2019 is just testimony to how quickly she's grown. I actually felt she could have been, dominating the league even from her rookie year. And she's just done so much, and she's learned so much in the game. Now you add Liz Cambage to the mix with her at the Las Vegas Aces, and you're like,
I'm loving
wow.
how that mix is working. Cyrus, look, to me, I've always told you, Asia Wilson has been the LeBron James of the WNBA.
Yeah.
And you can see the trajectory that she's on is just so impressive. And I think she's got great days coming her way.
No,
now look, let's jump into the All-Star All-Star Game or All-Star Weekend.
So Asia is the one captain. The other captain is
Elena Delle Donne.
Elena Delle Donne, the veteran. This will be her 6th All-Star game.
6th All-Star.
And she's something else. You watch her, she's a MVP. She does so much good work, losing finalists last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, Cyrus, just the way she plays as a big. She's so dominant in the paint, but can also shoot. She's got a good shot from distance, and I think she's the making of a future WNBA Hall of Famer.
No, I think without a doubt.
I'm calling it.
Without a doubt. In fact, if anything, if she doesn't get it, we'd be asking some serious questions. But Elena Delle Donne is just so good. And I think what I love about her, because she topped the voting for the WNBA All-Star Game, she's had a great season. She struggled with injuries towards the end of last season.
Yep.
And she's managed to put that behind her, and she's really dominating again. And, so let's go through a little bit about... this All-Star will work the very same way the men's All-Star Game worked. In terms of, you've got your 2 captains, and then they choose from the starters and the reserves, right?
Absolutely. And then, obviously, with the top votes going to Delle Donne, she's going to get first pick with
for the starters.
Then Wilson will get first pick
for the reserves.
For the reserves.
And then it's across conferences, so it's not like just the Western Conference All-Stars versus...
No. But that is so 2008. 2008, Cyrus. We've done that. Didn't work.
That is true.
We're over it. No, it worked, but we're over it.
And it's Team Delle Donne versus Team Wilson. So,
you know what I'm saying?
Run us through the starters. Who do we have?
Look, you got one of our favorites, Liz Cambage.
Yeah. Oh man.
She's such a great player. And one of the Los Angeles Sparks, his great ladies, the Chelsea Gray. Cyrus,
but Chelsea Gray plays hard, man. She plays hard. She plays to win. I love Chelsea Gray getting to work.
Speaking of playing hard, Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
I can beat DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh,
Brittany
yeah.
Griner.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Brittany Griner would be taking it to Cousins.
All right. And then from the Seattle Storm, we got Natasha Howard.
Yeah.
Connecticut Sun brought us Jonquel Jones, another one of my favorite bigs.
But Jonquel Jones is also one of those where, she can dominate a game and make it look effortless.
I know. She's got that poker face, you know, like okay, I'm doing this, but
You
this is
best
what I
know.
do.
Exactly,
You know, I'm doing this,
exactly.
but this is what I do. We love John Kell Jones and Joe Lloyd from the Seattle Storm, also a great young talent.
It's nice to see the Storm represented in there because they've
Absolutely.
struggled with injuries, and I mean it's tough when you're looking at an all-star lineup and there's no Sue Bird.
Look, injuries will do that, man. We've seen it happen
You know-
before in the NBA and in the WNBA.
You know, I'm not even going to talk about my favorite player, Brianna Stewart. But, Stewie would be there.
She'll be back. She'll be
Yeah.
back. She'll be back. Then Kayla McBride from the Vegas Aces. So she's a home girl alongside Liz Cambage and obviously Asia Wilson. They'll be playing at home,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. And from the New York Liberty, Kia Nurse, Cyrus. First year in the league, first All-Star appearance. This just goes to show you this young lady
Also-
is putting in work.
Kia Nurse has been playing really, really well. I've been loving what she's been doing on the court. And I think what's great about the picks for the All-Star game is that you can see that you could make a couple of great teams if you just get the picks right.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, okay, you're Elena Delle Donne. You're gonna pick first. Who's your number one pick?
Who's my number one pick? Because I can't get Asia Wilson. I'm going big. I'm going Liz Cambage. Straight.
You know, and that's what's beautiful is that
I'm Liz Cambage.
to think Liz Cambage almost didn't even play this season. There were question marks about whether or not she'd play, and then she ends up in Las Vegas. It's just a great story. So I mean, picking Liz Cambage is a no-brainer. I'm Asia. I'm like, okay, you're taking my Liz. Goodness, I thought we were friends. Man, I think I gotta try and go big for big here. So I might go Brittany Griner. You know, I mean, those are some amazing first picks.
Yeah,
and it
absolutely.
sets the tone because sometimes, and you found like with the NBA All-Star game, somebody picks a big, they're like, okay, fine, I gotta match yours.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just be like, well, okay, I'm a big.
Yeah. And before we move on, Cyrus, to the reserves, if you were to pick a Brittany Griner, I was gonna go Chelsea Gray straight up.
You see, you do what you gotta do. You see, and this is also where you realize that sometimes as teammates, you gotta pick your teammate. You gotta be like, oh look, Kayla McBride's still on the table, So if I'm Asia, that's where I'm going. But it'll be interesting to see. They're gonna do their picks. I think not too distant future.
Not too distant from now, yeah.
So let's go into the reserves. Who do we have in terms of the lineup there?
Oh wow, another group of great women here. Dewana Bonner from the Phoenix Mercury. I love her. She's a great. She's very deceiving in that she's quite slim.
Yeah.
But when she gets to bowling,
She's out there.
You best know she brings it. And then you've got Tina Charles. Tina Charles of the New York Liberty. I love this young lady. She plays
This
great
is
ball.
her seventh All-Star appearance, Tina Charles.
And the active players, obviously you got to be active. And the players that are going to this All-Star game, only her, alongside Candice Dupree, having this seventh appearance. Cyrus. So another reserve is Candice Dupree of the Indiana Fever. So Diamond DeShields from the Chicago Sky is also a guard playing there. Sylvia Falls from the Minnesota Lynx. I love Sylvia Falls.
Yeah, man. Sylvia
I am missing Maya Moore though.
Yeah. Look, and this is the other thing about it is that, yes, we've got to talk about the people who are there, but you always got to think about the people who are just missing out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And obviously Maya Moore took a year off, to take care of, personal matters.
Yeah, interests
fantastic.
outside of on-court stuff. And she's been
stuff.
doing some amazing stuff as
Now,
well.
from the Los Angeles Sparks, Cyrus, one of our favorites.
Yeah, Nneka
sisters.
Ogwumike. Nneka Ogwumike.
She's a baller.
Nneka, former MVP.
Yep.
She's she's won a couple of championships with the Sparks, and she'll
give you a double on any given day.
Dude, when you got so much admiration for somebody, the words are failing you. That's how I feel about Nneka Ogwumike because, having met her at the All-Star game in New Orleans a couple years ago.
Did you invite her to Africa like you did Giannis?
I did.
Because I know you go on about inviting Giannis and LeBron.
I did, and then she came. But it was a little too soon for them to be participating in the game. But she's incredible, so great off the court, amazing on the court as well. She's the kind of person who represents Africa in any level, at the highest level. I mean, it's sad that her sister's not there in Chinea Ogwumike, but Nneka will represent.
Absolutely. Then from the Chicago Sky, we got Ali Quigley. Cyrus, that's a great guard.
Ali Quigley can shoot, though.
That's a great guard.
Ali Quigley can shoot. Odyssey Sims from the Minnesota Lynx.
I love Odyssey Sims. I'm a Lynx fan. Let's just keep
Yeah.
it real. Although my lineage always goes
To
towards
LA, huh?
LA.
You and your
know,
LA connect.
I'm a Los Angeles kind of guy, so the Sparks always been my team. But ever since I started watching the Lynx real close, and when they had that rivalry with the Spark, I just knew these guys are, they're great. And then Alyssa Thomas from the Connecticut Sun as a forward.
Alyssa Thomas's game is it's so nice. So nice. This is her second All-Star appearance. And I think she's going to have fun. She's going to be fun. But one of my favorites.
I was about to say, I'm not even going to say the name. You can say this name.
Christy Tolliver from the Washington Mystics.
Tolliver.
This is her third All-Star game. She is a vet in this league. But man, does she play hard. Like when she's on the ball, you best know it's happening.
Cyrus, if there's a guard, I would have picked from the reserves before you even got to her. It would have been Christy Tolliver.
Yeah.
She would have been on my team because Christy Tolliver can ball.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to
She's a winner.
Yeah.
She's a winner. That's what it is. You get some people who they look nice. They look really nice on the ball. But when you want that winning attitude, I think Christy Tolliver and Chelsea Gray, they've both got it.
They're clutch.
They really
Let's just
are.
go there. Those two women are clutch. If I've got a couple of seconds on the clock, make it 3-4 seconds, and I need that person to take that last shot, or someone is in the paint and I say they can make that final play.
Yeah.
Christy Tolliver or Chelsea Gray, they're getting that ball.
Yeah, and that's who you want,
And Courtney
to round it off.
Vandersloot from the Chicago Sky, also a great guard.
Yeah, and a great shooter as well.
And Erica Wheeler from the Indiana Fever. Cyrus, just from looking at those selections, I think it's going to be a great weekend.
It should be,
It's 7 days away, and I can't wait.
I think the thing about how this WNBA All-Star Game goes is that they always try to make it as fun as possible, but it is entertaining. We were watching it last year with your family, and your daughter was just loving watching the All-Star Game. One of my favorite things is that it's a really great time of day for us in Africa.
Absolutely.
So we're not dying, waiting hours on end for the game to start.
But I think we're gonna do it again. Don't you think? It's
a family affair.
With a couple of pizzas and a couple of sodas here.
It's a family affair. Let's make this happen. But who you got? Team Deladon or Team Wilson? I guess it depends as to who gets selected,
I would love to say Team Asia Wilson because I'm a big Asia Wilson fan, but let's see how the selections go.
No, that's true. I love Asia though. Man, I love Asia. Anyway, look, I think the thing is that we'll see what happens come All-Star Weekend and what the women have to offer. I think it's going to be another superb All-Star weekend from an organization that does it well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been some changes obviously in the leadership since the last WNBA All-Star Weekend, but I think everything remains solid. I think Mark Tatum had a good tenure looking after the whole league
for the bit he was in charge.
For the bit that he was in charge, and I think it's in great hands, and I think it's going to be as entertaining as possible. Do you think that our very own Miss Ali Quigley might return that 3-point shot?
I don't see
three-point shooting contest?
I don't see who's gonna beat her. I honestly don't, because Ali Quigley is crazy. She just gets there and she starts shooting threes, and you're like, what is going on? She still holds the record for the most points garnered in an All-Star Weekend 3-point contest, men or women.
Wow.
Nobody has shot better than her. She is just...
So your money's still on her?
Well, it's got to be, right?
All right.
It's got to be. But let's just see how
let's see who
go.
the competition is.
I must say, I'm going to say it here, right? And I say it every year. There's always somebody who you got to look out for. Arike Ogunbowale is going to be an All-Star next year.
Woo! From the mouth of Rogers. You see, the mouth of Rogers doesn't usually fail.
No, dude, have you been watching that lady?
Look, she's already been a player of the week. She's already been a player of the week.
Oh my goodness.
She's going to bring it.
She showed it in college. She's showing it in the WNBA. This is one of my favorite things about the WNBA. Firstly, I like that the ladies stay in college for longer. A lot of them graduate.
Yep.
So they get degrees as well. And I guess they're almost sort of forced to, because, the pay disparity between the men and the women, and them needing to actually get other jobs.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is that it rounds their game out, So when you're playing in college for so long, you're getting really great coaching, that your transition from the college game to the WNBA is not that different. It's not that difficult. So you can ball out and people will be like, oh yeah, we saw Arike, we know what she can do.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I think it's she's just one of those.
So you're calling it.
I had to bring her up.
Next season, she's going to be All-Star. I see the return of Chiney next season. Because I'm just going to look at this week and say, oh, Nneka, man, okay, I'll be watching you. But I'm going to work hard. They're going to vote me back. Because, you know, she got that personality.
She really
she's
does.
Bubbly. Now, one question before we move on from the All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
Should they be a slam dunk contest?
Well, it really depends. Because I think the thing about it is that if the ladies can actually do different dunks, right? I'm not saying they can't, but that's what a slam dunk contest is about, is seeing the innovation, you know, and trying to give the fans something totally different. I would actually love to have like a slam dunk showcase, you know, so that we get to see that the ladies can dunk. Not necessarily a contest. It would be great. It would be great if we could do a contest, you know, but a showcase, because not all of these ladies can dunk. So let's see who can. And not just that, let them bring the house down with those dunks. You know, it could be something that would be really nice innovation.
Yeah, no, it's not like I don't want to see a Liz Cambage or, you know, Brittany Griner dunking. No. I want to see like
you want to see people fly.
I want to see Christy Tolliver. Boom.
Look, and there's no diss.
But have you noticed the shorter players make it look more magnificent?
They make the better dunkers.
Like when you were watching Spud Webb dunk in the 90s, you're like, wow.
This is some
so
other
cool
stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that, well, hey, who knows? I mean, having some sort of dunk showcase could be something that will be a completely different innovation. But I think the other thing for me is sometimes people put so much into this dunking thing, right? And what I loved about the way Steph Curry changed the game was that all of a sudden the three-point contest became the thing to watch at All-Star. And that's what's great for me about the WNBA All-Star weekend, is that the three-point contest is red hot. It is some amazing stuff. So it also, because it happens during the game, you know, you get to see that, and so it's not just one thing where it almost seems like, oh, we're cashing in again. We're going to have the three-point contest and the slam dunk contest and some skills challenge, you know.
True, Cyrus, but I think either way, it's going to be a fantastic weekend, really and hopefully Ali can retain the crown, or we'll see some great competition come up and somebody who really, you know, push her to the limit and see if she can keep going. This
is what we're watching out for. So, you know, we hope that you listening watch out for this, and we'll be covering it on postupzone.com. So make sure you check for all the updates around the WNBA All-Star Game and all the other stuff that we're covering on there, from the NBA through to the FIBA, through to youth basketball, you know, all with an African angle on it. Now, Kaunda.
Yep.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the moves that happened last time, and how the landscape of the NBA has changed. And man, it even changed even further, because Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, they end up at the Clippers, but that has a knock-on effect with Russell Westbrook saying, okay, Oklahoma City, I'm done. And so he ends up going to the Houston Rockets.
Cyrus, with that said, as that is a backdrop, let's look at what, you know, we think, you know, are the dynamic duos that you can look out for at the beginning of the season. But these are not the only duos that will be making a splash, if you will. But look, hit us up on socials if you're listening to tell us if you agree or disagree. But me and Cyrus, off the top of our heads, these are the dynamic duos we believe you should watch out for at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. And, well, let's say beginning, because some of them might be injured. But
yeah, well, you know.
But I think there's a weird dynamic happening with suddenly having less super teams and more duos. Like guys, it's like a buddy cop movie, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, come with me, we're going in. And so two dudes. Let's go through the list.
Okay, our first one, obviously it's hampered by injury, but if this one was to start at the beginning of the season, this would have been crazy notable, and that's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving at the Brooklyn Nets. Cyrus, a year ago, 2 years ago, you and I had Brooklyn Nets jokes for days.
We totally did.
Are we joking now?
No, and this is the thing. We stopped joking at the end of last season because they had made such a leap as a team.
Yep.
D'Angelo Russell had become an all-star. You know, Kenny Atkinson was doing some amazing stuff with that team, and you look at guys like Spencer Dinwiddie or Karis LeVert or you know, even Jared Allen. They'd really grown. But I think the thing is, Brooklyn are no longer.
Jared Allen blocking everybody, and their friends.
Oh, that guy.
LeBron, Giannis.
No, it didn't matter who you were.
I'm gonna block you.
Him and that fro, you know.
I think the fro helped.
Oh, I mean, he's going to end up with cornrows soon, I'm telling you.
Fear the fro.
Fear the fro. But so you see, the Nets are no longer a joke, and I think that they've always lived in the New York Knicks' shadow, and now as it stands, with the players that they have on staff, the Nets are the big boys in the Big Apple.
Cyrus, that was the biggest shocker to me. You remember when the rumors started flying, everybody's speculations, even I was speculating. No, Kevin Durant is changing his office, his management office is moving to New York, blah, blah. He's going to the Knicks. Kyrie has expressed that he wouldn't mind moving further down. I don't know, he's going to the Knicks. And boom, one day we woke up. No, they were in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Jay-Z had something to do with it. Maybe the spirit of Christopher Wallace had something to do with it. Maybe Foxy Brown had something to do with it. Lil Kim. I don't know.
But someone.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are with the Brooklyn Nets. And when Kevin Durant gets healthy, I know he's red t-shirting this one.
Oh, he's red shirting most of the season. But look, it's one of those things. And let's see what happens with the Nets. Because, you know, the problem with these kinds of things is that the Nets have sort of been here before.
With who?
Well, if you remember, after the Celtics had won their championship, the Nets were like, okay,
the original Nets.
Let's take all of your guys. You know, give me the oldest guys you got. You know,
I think that was the problem. That was the problem. Paul
Yeah.
Pierce, even Kevin Garnett, with all due respect to these two
Yeah,
great
they were
players,
past it at that stage.
Yeah, they were past it at that stage. And Jason Terry too.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't guys from the Celtics. But I understand where you're coming from. But I think
and I hear you that it's going to be
Durant
different.
and an Irving, it's going to be very different, especially when Durant is healthy.
And that's the point. It's about Durant's health. But anyway, that's one dynamic duo.
All right.
Let's go to your favorite city in the US of A, Los Angeles, and the duo that has formed between LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
What can I say? Number 23, and now Anthony Davis is going to be what? Number three? I thought the gifting was going to happen this season, but lo and behold, I can still hold on to my LeBron jerseys for another season. Cyrus,
That's why they did it.
It was for me. It was for me. Thank you, LeBron. But Cyrus, in all fairness, this is one of the best duos that's been formed in the league at the moment. You got Anthony Davis. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. He can play the 5.
Yeah.
If you want him to, he'll probably play the 4. You got LeBron. It's rumored that he's going to play point forward. One of the best players to ever grab that ball. And then you've got Anthony Davis, who also personally believes he's one of the best players to ever grab that ball. And I think just them as part of that team, that combination is going to be fantastic. LeBron James can give you on any given day 28, 29 points.
Yeah.
He can give you between 15 and 20 rebounds. Anthony Davis can give you 30 points. He can also give you, double digits. Both of these players can give you a triple-double on a good day and a double-double on an average day. and what more can I say?
Man, oh man, you are waxing lyrical.
No, this is LeBron James. This is the king.
I get you.
And
yes.
Anthony Davis is the kingmaker.
Yeah. Oh,
Cyrus,
yeah.
Okay, Kawhi Leonard is also the kingmaker.
And that was the thing I was going to say, because I've loved AD for a long time. I always said, and we've had this discussion, that wherever AD went next, those guys will be champions. And I stand by it.
It's almost stunning true.
But when you look at it, this Lakers squad, they filled out that entire squad so well that when you look at the veteran experience on there, the only thing they don't have is youth.
Absolutely.
And I think
they have the Kyle Kuzma here,
Alex Caruso. There's like a handful of guys, but it's not a backbone. They've traded away all of the guys that could have been there long term for them. And I think what they've gone for, and you see it in the moves that they've made, is not necessarily instant gratification, but short-term gains, and they've put aside long-term goals.
Look, Cyrus, first of all, you got to realize they have got long-term goals. People are just not seeing through this.
Yeah.
This Lakers squad.
Yeah.
This is not LeBron James's team. This is Anthony Davis's team. That's the long game.
No,
LeBron James has already done 1 year of his 4-year tenure. He's only got 3 years left on his contract if he sticks around. He'll probably stick around hoping that Bronny joins the Lakers or is drafted by the Lakers and they play together, then he leaves. But let me tell you, the long game is this is Anthony Davis's team, and LeBron James is only there hoping to win 1 or 2 chips before he retires, and then he'll be one of the great Lakers, if you will. And I think then it will be left to Anthony Davis, and there'll be a team built around him, and then the legacy.
It's that building of the team that I'm talking about, because there's no doubt that Anthony Davis is the future of the Lakers. LeBron James is the present of the Lakers and will be that for the next few years.
Next couple of years.
But they've traded away draft picks. They've traded away young, players who are actually finding their way in the league. Now you're going to have to start making space with the cap room you might have here and there, depending on the contracts that you've signed up. But some of the deals that are put in place, like the one for JaVale McGee, should he have gotten a 2-year contract? You know, that sort of thing.
It's worth it, Cyrus, because in a couple of years' time, when LeBron leaves, what stops them from knocking on the door next door and saying, "Yo, Kawhi, LeBron done left. Let's do this with AD now."
I think what stops them is Kawhi going, "Nah, I'm cool." And this is the thing, is that
I'm telling you, Kawhi,
just remember,
as a guy that grew up in LA, tell me any player that grew up in LA and their dream was to play for the Clippers.
Well, people who went
not even the Clippers,
people who went riding. But anyway, I hear you.
Even the Clippers wanted to play for the Lakers. Cyrus, the Clippers wanted to play for the Lakers.
I ain't gonna get into this.
Believe me, Cyrus. I was in Los Angeles as a young boy watching a Clippers game. They were so trash during those years. They almost let me in that game.
Okay,
that's how bad it was. They almost
let me just remind you that times change.
It was halftime.
You know,
it was halftime, and they were like, "Mr. Chama, can you suit up?" Oh, knee injury. Oh, okay, it's good.
And then you woke up. But anyway, my point being that sometimes what people don't understand is that you don't always have the leverage.
Yeah.
I understand that the Lakers have got this legacy, they've got all of this stuff behind them, they've got the great players now. But things change, brother. Who would have thought that the Golden State Warriors would get to 5 NBA finals in a row?
Wow.
Right? And win 3 of them. And so this is the thing, who would have thought the Lakers would have been so bad for so long?
Cyrus, who would have thought the Toronto Raptors
would win the championship?
The championship against the Golden State Warriors. Okay, injuries and all that kind of stuff.
No, but that's exactly it. So things change, and I think the thing is that it could be that we're seeing the emergence of a Clippers that could become the premier team in the Western Conference.
Now, speaking of the Clippers, get into the Clippers.
Well,
let me hear you.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? The next dynamic duo is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. But, and this is the other thing, it's a big but in terms of the conversation we're having here, that duo is fantastic, but their squad is almost better than that. Because when you look at the players they have on their roster, it's unreal how much talent.
Because I was going to jump in your face. When you said dynamic duo in Leonard and George, I was going to say Patrick Beverly is going to say, "What you talking about, Lewis?"
Patrick Beverly will say,
"What about me?"
I will defend and make sure these guys do their thing so they can be great. Those guys, Montrez, Pat Bev, Lou Williams, all of those guys are winners. But they also understand when the star player's there. Because Lou Williams was there when Blake Griffin was there, when DeAndre Jordan was there, when Chris Paul was there, and he played his part.
And Lou knows. He's the leader of the second unit. He's that sixth man. He's going to give you what he needs to give you. Put him in the final minutes. If you need that clutch shot, he's going to hit that, and you're going to be smiling.
And I think that's what I love about where the Clippers are right now, because in a coach like Doc Rivers, they've really stacked up. And the other thing about it is that they haven't had to throw away any of their future. Right? Yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is gone, right? And he would have been one of the young players that they would have loved to have. But Landry Shamet is still there. And he's a fantastic player. And then you look at some of the other guys around them. Montrez is still young.
Absolutely.
You know,
and athletic and big.
And doing whatever.
And doing what he needs to do.
And we're looking at a Paul George and a Kawhi Leonard who are actually both not necessarily young, but they're not old either.
They're in their prime. They're in the prime.
The Clippers are really in a good space. Now when you look at it, okay, somebody's got to play out of position here because they're both small forwards. But when you look at it, they'll give whatever they need to for their team. And I think that unlike when Carmelo Anthony joined the Oklahoma City Thunder, he was unable to adapt. I think that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard can both make it work on the floor at the same time. That they'll be able to
switch. But who would you throw at the 4?
Well,
or would you drop him at the 2?
Well, I would probably. Well, that really
because Kawhi can be 2. Kawhi can play the 2. Right?
He can.
He's got
but
enough.
Why can't Kawhi play a power forward with Paul George playing small forward?
Do you see him banging bodies? I don't.
He definitely can, mind you, because of his injury issues and all of that. You might not want to.
Paul
George has also had injury issues as well.
That's what I'm saying. That I'd rather drop him to a 2 rather than push him to the 4, because if you put Kawhi Leonard up against one of our favorite 4s, that lumberjack from Cleveland, Kevin Love. Do you think Kawhi Leonard can take on Kevin Love?
But Kawhi was battling with Draymond Green, and Draymond is a big guy, so it's not like he can't do it, you know. And I think that's how they might be looking at it. It's like, okay, Kawhi, if you play the 4, that's cool, but they're also interchangeable. They can actually play either, and possibly even go down to playing shooting guard. So all of this is possible. Let's go into a couple of the other dynamic duos. One of the others being Westbrook and Harden.
Westbrook and Harden, Cyrus, there's been a joke going around in my head, and I couldn't wait for this podcast. Are they going to introduce another ball onto the court? Like, have you ever put so much ball dominance in one team at the same time?
Well, think of it this way, right? Chris Paul was a player who needed the ball in his hands. He played with James Harden for 2 seasons, and they did fairly well. Fairly well. I mean, there are a lot of people who still feel they should have beaten the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals a couple of seasons ago. So it's not as if it didn't work.
But Chris Paul is not Russell Westbrook.
And that's the difference. Though, having said that, Russell Westbrook still, in getting a triple-double, you have to get assists, which means he passed the ball to somebody.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't assist, but when he assists in a triple-double, it's usually 10. And that's
still more than some of the other guys who are playing point guard are getting, and they're supposed to be the ones who are sharing the ball. I think the thing is that,
but I'm just worried that, you know, Russell loves to go to the hoop. He's a fast player. He's explosive, right? And then my man James Harden likes to play iso ball. So how is that gonna fit? Because it'll be like, okay, what's the next play? James iso. What's the next play? Russell, you take it to the hoop. What's the next play? James, ISO. Is it going to be like that interchange or what's
this is up to D'Antoni, right?
Yep.
D'Antoni's the one who's got to understand how to get the best out of these guys. I think that what he'll probably do is put the ball in Russell Westbrook's hands as the point guard and say, make the calls at the time, but remember you got shooters. Also, the other thing is, Paul George didn't play off the ball. He played with Russell Westbrook. They shared the rock together. And Paul George had a season where he was the 3rd place player in the MVP stakes. So we're still pretending like Russell Westbrook can't do any of the ball sharing when a guy on his team was up for MVP. So I think there are narratives around Russell Westbrook that aren't always the case. And I think that Westbrook could easily share the ball more. He knows he's not a good 3-point shooter. But if Russell Westbrook is, you know, driving into the lane and people are coming in and the defense is collapsing and he kicks it out to James Harden, you know, or Eric Gordon, you know, or PJ Tucker.
And you know, in all fairness, what I love about this, Harden and Westbrook have been here before. When they played together at OKC.
And they were young guys then. They were still learning, their game. And the other thing about this is you can either stay the same and get no results, or you can try and adapt and get something different. And I think this is where both Westbrook and Harden are, is that they want to try and win something. Neither of them have won the championship before.
But both of them are MVPs.
And that's the beautiful thing. Because people ask the question, how does Kevin Durant play in the Golden State Warriors system when that first happened? And boom, it worked. D'Antoni, I think, he's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve, and I think he'll do well. I'm not writing off Westbrook and Harden. I can understand where people are saying, oh, but they can't play together. And they might not even be able to win together. But I think the thing is that look at the regular season, they'll be one of the teams. The Rockets will be one of the teams in the top 4 in the Western Conference. Whether or not they make it to the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, we'll have to wait and see. But they have the ability from the talent they have on court.
And Cyrus, besides you, there's a duo people have been very quiet about. There's actually a team people have been very quiet about. And that's the Golden State Warriors. And I think because Clay is injured, Kevon Looney was also injured, Kevin Durant is left, and you know, a couple of pieces have gone, you know, who did they give to the Lakers?
Quinn Cook.
We got Quinn Cook. Now everybody's been very quiet about the Golden State Warriors. It's like they're writing them off this season. It's like bye guys. It's been real these 5 finals, but
it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, so I wrote a piece on Post Up Zone, postupzone.com, talking about should the Warriors be written off. And the reality is you can see why some people have said that. Mainly because, well, Kevin Durant's gone. I mean, that's a big piece to lose. But then you go back to the fact that Draymond's still there. Klay Thompson should be back at some point this season, even if he sits out the whole season.
I doubt he will.
No, but look, an ACL surgery and all of that stuff, you never really know what's going to happen. But let's say he does. They've still got D'Angelo Russell, who they've brought in, and I think it's a good addition. He'll have to learn to play in their system.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing that people haven't mentioned a lot in this discussion is Steve Kerr, and just how clever he is as a coach, because he's been able to change his systems and tweak stuff in order to make people fit. He managed to get Kevin Durant as much ball as he needed when they needed to win championships.
Straight
That
up.
worked. He was able to say to Steph, you don't have to be the guy who has to do it all the time, and that worked. Now he's going to be able to get his hands on like a D'Angelo Russell and say, okay, let's see how we can make you the best D'Angelo Russell you can be. And the Warriors don't necessarily play the pick and roll a lot.
No.
But now they've got a player who's a great exponent of it. And the signing of Willie Cauley-Stein, for me, is one of the unheralded signings of this particular offseason, because he's a very mobile big man. He can shoot a little bit from distance. He's not like a real stretch big like a Brook Lopez has become. But I do think that one of the things is that he'll work well in a pick and roll scenario. You still got Kevon Looney back, who made a great push last season.
Yeah.
So you've got two good centers, and they'll be...
Is there an update on the injury on Kevon Looney?
Well, it wasn't a season-ending injury. I think he just had some issue with his shoulder. Exactly. So just a little bit of rest should help him out. I will go and do some research to see exactly how well he'll be doing. But let me tell you, I saw some videos the other day. Willie Cauley-Stein is looking fit. He is ready for action. And one of the things that actually kind of hampered the Warriors last season was not being able to call on DeMarcus Cousins when they needed to.
I think DeMarcus Cousins, in all fairness, was still a bit rusty.
No,
and he hadn't,
it was evident.
He hadn't really learned to fit into that system because he didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
And I think it was like all of a sudden, oh wow, we're in the playoffs. Then
now we need you at your peak.
Yeah, and you really can't bet your entire house on a guy who you're not sure. I mean, an injury is an injury, regardless of who you are.
No, true.
I mean, look at how one injury took LeBron out of the rest of the season after like 55 games or so. And, it was like,
and Kawhi the season before.
The season before. But Cyrus, we are running out of time. But I want you to tell me this. Or to answer me this. This is the question of the day. I'm going to mention two dynamic duos and tell me if their tenures have come to an end.
Okay.
Is Lillard and McCollum still a thing?
I think it is. I think the Portland Trailblazers' performances last season show that it is, but their performances in the playoffs yet again fell short. But I think that had to do more with the guys around them as opposed to them themselves. I actually worry about Portland this season because they've traded away some players, they've put some guys in, and I'm not loving the makeup of the squad so far. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, Nurkic should be back.
Nurkic will be back eventually, but it's just a few of the other pieces that they've acquired.
They've lost the Chief. The Chief's gone to
Aminu's gone. There are more players than just Aminu.
Kanta is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
and a couple of worrisome moves.
Kanta was just a sort of short-term guy. You know, there are a few other players that they've let go, like Caleb Swanigan, who I really like the look of. But let's see, because Lillard and McCollum have to do the work. Lillard got the bag though, like he's getting paid, so he has to deliver. And CJ will also need to deliver come crunch time.
Well, I'm sure he will. He's been to an Africa game.
No, so that's it. The stars are aligned.
Almost guaranteed. And the last one before we leave, Cyrus, the Bradley Beal and John Wall
dynamic duo. I don't think that's going to last much longer, if I'm being totally honest. I think the Washington Wizards are trying to see where they are as an organization and how they can move forward. Obviously, John Wall's injury has put paid to a lot of discussions around moving him and all sorts. And Bradley Beal, they've sort of managed to back a little bit. He is getting paid. But I do think, though, that them as a team, Beal and Wall, I just don't see it working that much longer. But what options do the Wizards have is my next question. You know,
they can trade them and blow it all up.
See what they can do. They've brought in a couple of very interesting players. I like Rui Hachimura. So let's see what happens to the Wizards. But I think that one is pretty much done. We're not going to see the same Beal and Wall.
Okay. No, Cyrus. On that note, it's been a great podcast.
It really has. It's been another fun one.
Yeah.
So for everybody listening, make sure you keep going to postupzone.com. It's your home of basketball intelligence.
Basketball intelligence. I like
on the
that.
African
BI.
continent. Yeah. Basketball intelligence. That's what we're trying to do. Postupzone.com, where ball meets life. And keep listening to the Post Up Podcast.
Yeah, and follow us on all socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter.
Okay. For here, goodbye.
Goodbye.